It's the well.
Yeah, it's the well. You ain't heard of us. Hey, Rams. Hey, welcome, heard with us. If you look around for a word to trust, check the Starseed journey, you can learn from us. Sex, sleep, drugs, what we gonna discuss? Whatever you need to be prosperous. Negativity, superfluous. All we really want is for you to just be true to you and be who you are, cause you are a star and you will go far. You can succeed at all of your dreams, you'll get your degree and all of those things, but you must take care of your health. Cherish yourself, your body, your mental, your brains and your wealth. You can have fun and still be well, that's what we do here at the well.
All right, everyone, welcome back to What the Well. This week, we're going to be talking about sleep, how it affects us, how it can affect you, what we can do for better sleep. We're so excited to have you here today. My name is Mia Liatis. I am the wellness health educator at The Well, and one of my focuses as a health educator is on sleep. My pronouns are she or they, and I'm here with some lovely people today. I'll have them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Ingrid. I go by she, her, and her. I am a peer educator, health educator, for The Well. I'm currently a sophomore, so my second year in school, and I'm interested in this topic because I don't get enough sleep, and I really should.
And I'm Elizabeth McDonald. I go by she, her, hers, and I'm also a PhD mentor, whatever. And my major is HVAC Health Science. I'm a junior, and I'm interested in this topic because I am just a sleep enthusiast and love it.
I am also an HPEX major, did not make that clear.
Well, thanks, y'all. I'm so excited to have you here. So let's kind of just talk about our experiences with sleep. So what are your experiences with sleep like, just in general?
Well, sometimes it's really great, and I get a lot of it, and maybe too much at times, but then other times it's impossible to get it.
Yeah, I firmly agree. There will be days where I'll sleep and then take a nap, and I've only been up for 5 hours, or there'll be days where I'll go and just not sleep for 36 hours at a time.
Yeah, but when I do get good sleep, I'm just when you wake up and you're just so groggy, it's I kind of love that feeling because it's you had a good rest, but at the same time, it gets hard to start your day and do what we have to do.
Yeah. So how does that work out with classes? Do either of you have morning classes?
Yeah, I have an 8 a.m. on Thursdays, and that one is... You do too?
I do too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and it's awful because Wednesday night, I know I have to get up early, and I know what I have to do, but the night before, I'm just I guess I'm going to stay up until 4 watching The Housewives, because why not?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I was oh no, it'll be fine. I'll get my schedule on track. I have so many early classes, 9:30s, 10 o'clock. I guess it's not early, but it's early for me because you have to get up early and then get ready. And then I have an 8 a.m. on Thursday. So I was dude, I'll get on it. It'll be fine. And then I'll end up staying up. Yesterday, I stayed up till after 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It's the worst.
What were you doing?
Well, I was over at my friend's house or at my friend's apartment down the hall. And I was I'm going to go to bed. I was working on some stuff, and then I finished by midnight. And then we started talking about just society and culture, and we just had one of those talks. And then I had to bake cookies as a thank you gift for someone. And
You had to as a thank you.
I did. She wrote me a recommendation. It was due
nice.
Friday, and she told me Thursday night that she'd write it. So I can't not
So
bake
nice.
her cookies. So
That's sweet. Okay, so it sounds like both of you have early morning classes. Ingrid, you said you switch off between an 8 a.m. and 9:30 or pretty early classes in general. Yeah. Elizabeth, are both
No, see, I make sure the beginning of each semester to pick the latest class schedule as possible. But chemistry has recitation 8 a.m. and I don't have a choice, so see me 8 a.m.
Okay, so do you feel that might pose a challenge to you as one day you're waking up really early and the next day that you're not waking up so early?
Yeah. No, I definitely try to put my my waking up schedule to be kind of similar just so that I'm not struggling for that 8 a.m., but it never works out. So I try to wake up by 9 every day, and then on my 8 a.m. I try to wake up at 6:30 because it takes me forever to get ready.
That's a good tip. So even if you don't have classes like the same time every day, like trying to set a schedule for your body to be willing to wake up around the same time is really great.
Yes.
And I would also say same with going to sleep. So just as your body kind of prepares to wake up early because you've kind of set that routine, preparing to go to sleep around the same time is also kind of like setting your body's like alarm clock that it's time to go to bed. What do you think, are some possible obstacles with that you all run into?
Like, I think it's just like a matter of just trying to balance like schoolwork, social life, extracurriculars, and people have jobs too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fortunate where I don't have a job and I just do school, but I get caught up with technology at night. Social media is just this dark hole that you can just keep watching so many different things. And I've been getting into like the crime like docu-series on YouTube, and all night I'll stay up and watch it. So if there's a way, sometimes I'll put my phone like far away so that I can't like use it, and then in the morning I have to get up to turn off my alarm. That's been a technique I've been using.
Well, it sounds like, you have some things in place, whether they're like not always working or working most of the time. I guess what advice would you give to people who are trying to have better sleep?
I guess I would say to like come up with a schedule. I think that's obviously really important, and I kind of don't follow my own rules. And I think it's also something that one of my roommates has put in place is like, I guess this is a schedule, but like making sure that she has schoolwork done. Like you set aside time for schoolwork. And I think at the minimum, I don't think this is what like the government says, but I think like at the minimum, do like 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So the government, meaning the Center for Disease Control and Prevention.
Government.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You're right. Says about like 7 hours of sleep for people like in their late teens into their 60s. So what I'll have to say about that is like some of us may know somebody who like can like function perfectly on like 6 hours, and then other people who like really need 9 hours of sleep a night in order to be functional. So you know your body the best, but on average, we're talking about like 7 hours a night is probably the best.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm that bad. It's just my hours are I also eat dinner really late. And that's the thing. I think if people just put a time where they're like, okay, at this time I'm getting in bed, whether like whatever, like start your skincare routine, whatever you do, because then it like winds you down for the night. But for me, I'm like eating dinner at like 11 p.m. and then I get a burst of energy and I'm like, ooh, let me go on social media and online shop or something crazy.
Yeah, I was reading an article and they were talking about how like a lot of times on the weekends you'll let yourself sleep in and you kind of fall off that schedule. Yeah. And they're saying how that's not good because you kind of like knock your body out of like that circadian rhythm it would go into. Circadian rhythm, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, the circadian rhythm that it would fall into. So they say the best thing to do is just to keep following that schedule even though it's Saturday, Sunday, and you want to sleep in. Maybe just go to bed earlier instead.
I need to do that.
Yeah, well,
weekend or.
And this is like not a shaming podcast. Like none of us are going to be like super perfect at sleep, but I think that there are things that we can do to maybe practice like better sleep. Like y'all talked about like having a routine before going to bed. Like that's another indicator for our bodies to like start to want to wind down. So like doing that as often as possible, like a skincare routine, or even if part of your like nighttime routine is like, all right, I'm going to watch this episode of like whatever. Like that can also be like an indicator for us to try to go to sleep. Do either of you like, I don't know, tell me about your caffeine intake.
Oh no. Me? Okay. Well, at first, I was like, I don't want to be addicted. My roommate is addicted. She gets caffeine headaches. I was like, I don't want to be like that. So I tried to do like Tuesday and Thursday, 1 cup. But it gradually was like 1 cup. And then I was like, oh, might need 2. And now it's to the point where I drink it every day, like in the morning. And then if I have a long day, I'll drink like 3. And it's not, and I don't even feel the effect anymore. It's just like, honestly, I think it's placebo. But it's just me.
So you like developed a tolerance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really drink that much caffeine. I think I do it on occasion. There would be times where I would have like maybe 2 or 3 in a day, and I could I would like actually feel jittery and like shaky. And the only thing that caffeine really does for me is it makes me talk more, which since you guys know me, it sounds awful.
That's crazy.
But I normally don't get it. I like to just drink water, and that's what they say what you should drink when you first wake up because caffeine. The coffee dehydrates you. So I think just drinking water kind of like helps me stay awake because I don't think I drink enough. So I should have brought water and not a smoothie to this podcast.
Yeah, well, I think like different people have different relationships with caffeine. So some of us are like perfectly okay not having caffeine. And in fact, like that makes us jittery or like sweaty or talking fast and all of the bad side effects of caffeine.
Yes.
And then some of us, I mean, our relationships are a little stronger with caffeine, where we're drinking like maybe multiple cups a day, and like in order to feel like we can properly function, have to drink that caffeine.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I can see it coming. I need to wean off, definitely.
Yeah, and so like there are probably some different alternatives that people can have other than like espresso or like a cup of coffee, like just having tea or like, I don't know, something with like a lower level of caffeine may get you in the happy zone of caffeine rather than like over caffeinated.
Yeah.
And even sometimes caffeine can make you tired. So like if you're like kind of over your threshold with caffeine, like it can make you want to take a nap. And that's really like may not be giving you like your best form of sleep.
That's been happening to me a few times, actually, because I've been drinking it, and then I'm like, you know what? I could take a nap right now. And I'm like, but I just drank coffee. It doesn't make sense. But now I understand. I'm like, I probably hit my threshold.
What do you all think about naps in general?
Well, there was this study that I was reading. I swear, I like
You really brushed up for this.
Educated. Yes.
I didn't. This is actually just me like learning. It's so weird. And they were basically saying that one of the best ways to like get sleep, and now feel free to knock me down on this one, but they say getting like 3 hours and then you like stay up for 6 or something like that, and then 3 hours and then stay up for 6. They said was like the best way to like feel the most energized throughout the day. But like it doesn't like work with like today. Like you can't just like go to work for 6 hours, be like, hey, peace out, I'm gonna go take a 3-hour nap.
Time.
It like doesn't. I think it was something like that. It was like fluctuating between like napping and then staying up for like so many hours and then napping and then staying up, as opposed to what we're used to of staying up for like, I don't know, what's the math?
Like
18
hours.
hours. I don't know, 16 hours and then sleeping for 8 hours. So.
I've never heard that before.
I was like, me either. I want to know what you...
I don't know. I would say like talk to a physician about that. But I know that like most of us cycle through like all of our levels of our sleep within like a 70-minute time period. So like you're getting through like stages 1 through 4 being like the deepest point of sleep, and then us getting into like our REM cycle, so our rapid eye movement where we're like dreaming. So if you can like carve out that particular chunk of time, because that way like you're getting like all of those levels of sleep without just like sitting into maybe like 30 minutes of just like getting that like shallow sleep.
Naps for me are I love naps. I set time every day for a nap. I just think that they help you as long as you do like a certain amount, because too much napping, when you wake up, you just want to go right back to sleep. But I've honestly mastered the art of napping. I do like about like a 50-minute nap, and I wake up and I'm so energized. I don't need coffee. I don't need anything, and yeah, it's great.
See, I don't like naps just for that reason, because I feel groggy when
You
I
need
wake
to
up.
find your perfect.
I am so groggy. Like, it doesn't matter how long I sleep. Like, I'm always just extremely tired when I wake up. So I try not to take naps, because then I like will stay up way longer than I need to, and then getting 4 hours of like real sleep, and
Isn't
it's a
possible.
cycle.
Yeah. You bring up such a good point about like the cycling, right? So like if you are somebody, especially who has sleep problems at night and you're napping during the day, you may be throwing off your cycle. So not all of us may like get the most out of a nap. We just need to kind of like power through the like wanting to nap so that we actually go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia, what works best for you?
Yeah. What's your sleeping like?
Me. I feel like I'm kind of an old lady when it comes to sleeping. I like really cherish being able to go to bed at like 10:30 because like that's just when I get the most sleep. I will say like I am not in school anymore, but I like have always kind of been like a sleeper. I get up early though, so like I'm an early riser for sure. My brain just like works best in the morning, and I just like get really cranky if I like don't go to sleep at like a reasonable time. Unless like I've already planned that I'm going to be up that late. So like I used to have classes until 10, for example, and like that is like not ideal for my brain. But like after that I would be super energized because I was just like sitting in class talking with people. So I guess it really like depends, but in general like I'm tired when I can get home. And I think that's from like having a pretty set regular schedule. Like I have like a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 5 job for the most part. Sometimes I'm like here later, but that's kind of helped me be able to carve out that time to sleep and like wake up in the morning. But yeah, I'm an old lady. I also like I like watch a good amount of TV and then I'm just ready for bed. So like part of my routine is like, you know, like washing my face, like putting on the PJs, just like watching TV and going to sleep. And I do that basically every night.
You've got your routine down.
Yeah, yeah. And that like wasn't always the case. Like I've cultivated that like over time. But yeah, I don't dream as much anymore though.
Yeah, I haven't dreamed in a really long time.
Oh, I just had a dream.
Really?
Yeah,
Can you
I
tell
dream
us
like
about
every
it?
night. I really don't remember what it was. I remember it was like, oh, okay, so I was trying to screen record because I didn't show up for my lecture because I was just using Top Hat. And I had a dream, and it was like 2:53, and I was like, no, I missed the screen recording for my lecture. And I was going to give cookies to someone, so it's kind of like what I'm doing
over the
today.
place.
But I did get to screen record my lecture. I woke up in time. It was a really weird. Anyways, I have really, like, anyways.
Dreams are weird.
Yeah, they are. I'm like, I want to know like what the deeper meaning is because the few times I do have them, they're always so like bizarre. I'm like, what is my brain like doing?
Freud would say. Like there's like the manifest and the latent content of dreams. But yeah, so like you'd have like how your dream would manifest, like the, you know, bringing cookies and like skipping class and Top Hat and things like the actual portion of the dream, and then the latent content would be like the secret meaning like behind all of that. There are other dream theorists that are like our brain just tries to like make sense of our problems and like tries to like solve that problem in our sleep. So maybe you have been like stressed lately and that's like coming out through your dreams, and maybe you've found a solution.
I don't know. I dream like almost every night, and it's always like very like realistic, but just like a like hint of like something weird. And that's what I have like really boring dreams.
I wish I dreamed because people, you know, when they keep like the journals, I've always wanted to do that, but I never dream. Like, it's cool to me though.
I do want to go back really quick. Sorry, I'm not trying to hog this airtime here. I do want to go back, and I want to talk about how, like, Mia, you said that you had a schedule, like a set routine. And, like, I kind of had that in high school, which was really helpful. But then I was also reading another article, and it was saying that, like, on top of a routine, like, you should have, like, clothes that you wear to bed, like some part of the routine. But then also they were saying, like, don't do homework in bed because then your brain could think, like, oh, this is a place to work, so I don't want to fall asleep.
Yes.
Yeah, which is weird because I study in my bed, but I'm always so tired that I just knock out. But that may not be the case for other people.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a really cool point.
Yeah. We say at the Well, like, you should only really be using your bed for, like, sex and sleep.
The two S's.
The two
two
S's. Because your brain starts to associate, like, what you're doing in your bed with, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in my bed. So if your brain is turned, like, on and doing homework, it's going to be harder for you to fall asleep because now your brain is associating the bed with homework.
Yeah. Wow. My brain just, like, is like, what? No, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And I believe that 100%.
Yeah. So if you're finding that like you're having difficulty like falling asleep in your bed, it may be because you're doing other stuff in there.
No, that makes, because freshman year, I always did my homework in my bed because I just wasn't a library person. And I could not, like freshman year, my sleep was awful. And now looking back, I'm like, it's probably because my brain was like, we always do homework in here. Like, what are you doing trying to sleep?
Yeah.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love education.
Yes, thank you for teaching me something.
What do y'all think about like screen time and going to bed? So Elizabeth, you mentioned
Yeah, I was like, I'm really bad with that. And Apple, when they came with that new update where it like tells you your screen time, that just tore me apart. I was like, this is how much time I'm spending on this little device. Oh, geez. But yeah, no, screen time, I try to cut back. But by just putting all my technology far away from me, that's like the easiest way. But like during the day, I'm on it a lot, and I shouldn't be.
again, we're not shaming.
But no, like for me, screen time is just like a big thing, especially now since a lot of professors, like coming to college, like in high school, I was like mainly paperwork for me. And like coming to college, like everything is like on screens. Like you do all your work, like aside from like lab stuff, it's all on like a computer. So if you're doing homework, you're going to be on a screen, which is kind of problematic, especially if you're like doing assignment right before you go to bed, because they say, you know, the whole like blue light, you shouldn't have that right before you fall asleep.
I actually just invested in those glasses because
Really?
I'm trying to see if they really work. So I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah, because I was like, is this a scam? Yes or no?
I'm going to buy it. Yeah, let us know. what
I
you
will
think of those.
next time.
Well, yeah, I mean, so usually like let an hour pass before like you stop like engaging with the screen and going to bed for like a few reasons. One is the blue light on your phone. And then also like if you're falling asleep, maybe to like watching TV, say like what you're watching has a laugh track. Maybe you're watching like, I don't know, Friends. I don't know. Maybe that's like, even though you're not waking up, your brain is still kind of like listening to that and maybe not like sleeping all of the way because of the noises like messing with your sleep. Same with like a scary movie, maybe like the creepy like, I don't know, music is just like loud or like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't do scary movies.
Yeah, me either.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I'm glad we can all agree.
Yeah.
I do like psycho thrillers, like the ones that kind of like mess with your brain, but I don't like jump scares.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Well, none of us will be listening to that when we're falling asleep.
Yeah, no.
I also read somewhere that they were saying that light, you get not as good of sleep than if you're in the dark. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that.
Anecdotally, I like it dark. I don't know. Well, I mean, when you think about like, I don't know, like the evolutionary purposes of us like having a circadian rhythm of like waking up when it starts to get light out because that just like wakes up your body and like going to bed when it gets dark out, that makes sense. Like typically humans have like gone to sleep when it's dark out. So if it's dark in your space, you're probably going to have a better time going to sleep because your body just naturally wants to wake up to something that's bright.
There's so much.
That's why I sleep so well, because I don't have a window in my room. So it's literally just a dungeon. So I go in there and I know I'm going to sleep right because it's like...
I hate that. I'm in my room like all the time. Not because I hate my roommates. It's like my
your
space.
Yeah, it's your little...
It's your
I
comfort
like the
zone.
window because I love
No,
daylight.
I wish. I have one of those purple lamps for my plant, and I consider that my sunlight, even though it's purple, but whatever
Love
works.
that.
Yeah. Well, and like natural light has been shown to just like be better for your well-being than like a overhead light, for example. Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you all some just like narratives that you've heard about sleep on campus. Like, what do people typically say about sleep?
I mean, I think for me, like most of the time people will sacrifice sleep if they have like an assignment due. Or like sleep, I don't think is like a first, like it's not a priority for a lot of kids on campus. I'm sure there are some, but I know from my experience, like if you have an assignment due or you have to study for a test, like that comes first. You're paying, you're not paying to get an A in the class, you're paying to take the class so you can get an A. So like that's so much more important to students, I think, than sleeping.
Yeah, the people I'm around, they will pull all-nighters, sometimes for fun. Like, sleep, that's how, like, sleep just doesn't matter, because they're just like, I'd rather get all this done and be able to say tomorrow I have nothing to do than go to sleep and then do a little bit now and a little bit later, which I find interesting because I'm like, sleep's just so great. Why would you sacrifice that? But yeah,
We didn't pay her.
I love sleep.
Well, when you like think about it, like sleep is what makes your like brain store all of its information, and it's what heals your body. So we know from just like our research that sleep is like a huge factor that's impacting people's academic success because they're not getting enough of it. And like you were saying, Ingrid, like if somebody wants to like do well in a class, like in order for them to really synthesize all of the information that they're studying and like have it for long-term memory storage, they have to go to sleep. So like, I guess there's like this myth of like the all-nighter and just like staying up all night and then like getting to your exam. Like that could help in like the short-term part of your memory, but you're not going to encode that for the long-term part. So you may have like gotten an okay grade on the test, but like when you leave here, all you have is like what you remember, right? So like you have the letter on your transcript, but like if you need to put it to use and you don't remember any of it, like what good is the grade, right?
Yeah.
So the practical application of sleep is really important. And like, I'm not trying to say that it's easy to do all the time. But yeah, if we want to like make sure that we're like healthier and like feel like good about ourselves, sleep is important.
Yeah.
All of this too, like all of this advice that we're talking about for like better sleep, you know, take what you want from it. Like nobody is going to like force you to try to get better sleep, but like if you are consistently not able to go to sleep or maybe like having sleep issues despite like trying different like methods of like not taking naps, making sure like you're having your routine and things like that, talking to a physician is maybe something that you want to try.
Or come by the well if you would like, you know, just to see what other habits there are to get you into that sleep zone.
Also, I'm going to plug Headspace. That's like changed my life. That little meditation, it really does like put your just mind at ease right before bed.
That's true. I was on a schedule over winter break, and I would do those meditations like right before I went to bed, and I felt so loose and relaxed. Like right before I went to bed, I was like knocked out. So
I love that app.
So Headspace, any other like sleep apps that you would recommend? Even though Headspace isn't necessarily a sleep app, it's more of a meditation app, but meditation has been shown to help with sleep and stress and anxiety, which can all kind of like lump into one another.
Yeah, they affect each other.
I mean, I don't know exact app names, but you know, the apps that maybe you like the sound of like rain falling or something. Those kind of like white noise apps, I guess. I think that's white noise, right? Or like beluga whale sounds.
I have no idea. The like ocean and stuff.
Yeah, some like background noise is like calming.
I love diffusers too. Those like the different scents, like lavender.
Aromatherapy?
Yes, aromatherapy. That's what it is. Those are great.
Do you have any particular scent that you like?
Lavender, and in the morning, I love the orange, like citrus smells. Those are just amazing.
This is really good for your sinuses. I would use eucalyptus because that's what's in Vicks, and I would like put that in my diffuser, and it would help me like not be as stuffy in the morning.
Yeah,
That's a hack.
maybe like a dehumidifier too. Like depending on like where you live, maybe you're in a residence hall where you don't have total control of the temperature or the climate. Like maybe something like, you know, a fan or a dehumidifier might be a good option too.
Yeah. Oh, I guess some people do use sleep masks. And at the well, we have earplugs if you like dead silence and your roommate has a fan.
Yeah.
We do.
Some people, maybe you can't control like who lives above you and they're really loud. Or like maybe you live on Broad Street and you can't control traffic. Yeah, so we have free earplugs at the well, so stop by and get some if you know you feel like that may help you out.
There's no catch. Just drop by, say hi, get your plugs.
Yeah, so let's talk about some programs that the Well has for sleep coming up. We'll actually be doing Sleep Week the week after spring break in March. So I believe that starts March 11th and it's through the 15th. So we will be doing a bunch of activities all week long that have to do with like helping you sleep better, including some different types of meditations too. So if you're new to meditation or just want to like talk about how that can help you with your sleep, we'll be doing that. And like we will be working as staff and as peer health educators to put on different events for sleep. So check us out on our social media at the Well VCU on Instagram to just kind of see what we're doing. And if you want to just learn more about sleep in the meantime, check out our website, thewell.vcu.edu, and there's a whole section on tips for sleep. So if you're curious about how to get your sleep on, check us out there too.
I'm sorry. I would also like to make a plug out for peer health educators. We are recruiting, and if you think sleep is something that you want to advocate for and educate your fellow peers about, we have the application out. It's also on the Well. Just go ahead and there's some links and everything, but the application is due March 13th, 2019, so just after spring break. So please apply if you are interested. We would love to have more peer health educators.
Yeah, you can join our sleep group.
Yeah. Check us out on the website to apply for that. Cool. Good luck.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, tune in next week to hear from me and our Associate Director, Tricia Saunders. We'll be talking about all of the different programs that we have in March for Mental Health Month, including Sleep Week. And we'll have a huge event at the end of March called our Out of the Darkness Walk, which is a suicide prevention walk. And we want all hands on deck for that. So come out and support mental health and suicide prevention. We'll be talking more about that next week. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Be well.
Da, 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 da.